one of the things that I realize is that living in a urban environment, it really turns on certain things in me that I don't think are there when I live in places like Saratoga Springs, Utah, where, it has its city elements, but 50, 60,000 people in a city, open land, mountains. I mean, we had a farm next door with cows and horses and all that, and a mole that was a problem. I could imagine, but I realized since we've been back here in Dallas that it has turned on my entrepreneurial mind much more than I ever had it when I was living in Saratoga Springs. And I realized that as I'm sitting here tonight, or this AM, it's really night still, but it is 4:27 a.m. I just wanted to go for a quick drive and just kind of vibe, and and I realized, like, man, I understand why my environment is hardscape kitchens in human design terms, right? But hardscape meaning, a place where things have been paved, city, infrastructure, all of that. It's quite necessary for me, and the way that I move, the way that I interact with the environment. It's quite necessary to keep me from being too free. I'm not saying that I can't have total freedom, but in the way that the responsibilities that come with living in a place like this, the structure that it creates for a free-flowing person to be able to have some kind of regular schedule, right? Not too much, but enough to keep me presently aware of my responsibilities. And that turns on my entrepreneurial mind. That turns on my creativity. To be able to fashion different ways of earning income or currency or resources, energetically attracting the things that I need in order to build what I'm supposed to build in this lifetime. Even if what I'm supposed to build is something outside of this kind of city, whatever it is, like that. What I'm saying is the environment, our environment, our beneficial environment. You have a different one than I do. But the city in which you live, the frequency that it carries, the mindset of the people that you take in around you. It shapes who you are, the cultural milieu, as they call it. It shapes who you are. For me, because it turns on my creative and entrepreneurial it's preparing me to be able to create in the future when crisis is evident. Because I'm in a constant crisis. There's a constant deadline. There's a constant this or that turns on the willpower in me to say, go get this shit done. And so I understand the need for stillness. But for some of us, that stillness has to come from within, not from the outside. That stillness has to keep us at peace in an environment full of the opposite. Everything's always moving. And it's not a natural moving. Everybody else is also on edge trying to meet their deadlines and so on and so forth. And so it's conditioning them if they don't have the same environment that I do. But for me, it's not conditioning me. It is perfect. So to be able to sit in a city like this and take in the frequency of others who are struggling in this environment, and because it's good for me, it helps me to transmute that frequency into a solution, into something that will help these people either get free of this environment or learn how to deal with it. Because of my words, because of what I've been inspired to do by living in a hardscape, dense community or city. Survival mode. It turns on my ego center. It turns on my ability to sell and to market myself, my art, my the things that the spirit, if we're going to just give it a name, gives me, to be able to speak it to others, to be able to do it in the frequency that I need to do it. And that is what I was writing about last night. I was writing about how I really appreciate when people share my whatever I post on social media. Like, it's not trivial. It's not a small thing to me that people share my stuff on social media. Because for me, I value influence. I value influence because I have a Venus, personality Venus in Leo in the 6th line, gate 31, the gate of influence. 5th color, 5th tone. In the 2nd house. second house of values, right? So Venus, the planet of values, the planet of relating, in Leo, okay, shining, wanting, needing, or at its best frequency, allowing itself to shine amongst all others. In gate 31, gate of influence, the gate of verbal leading, in the most authoritative line of the hexagram, the sixth line. Okay, so I value my influence because of the authority that my voice, my influence has over the community, over the collective. But I do it, I influence with such authority. I influence with such guilt. That's the color. So you have the line of the role model or the Buddha in the sixth line, and then you have the color in the fifth color of guilt. Now, guilt is not a bad thing. Many people look at it as a bad thing, but guilt and shame are two different things. But guilt, in terms of the fifth color in human design, deals with having a voice or a frequency, I should say, of making people feel guilty in order to fix things in the collective. So like, I see something from living, or I feel something, or I experience something across the board in this city that I know, because of my sense of judgment, the fifth tone, I sense what needs to be fixed. I judge where to fix it, how to fix it, so on and so forth. And then fifth color, I express this verbal leadership. I express this influence from a role model kind of level, especially once I pass my Chiron return, right? But I express this on a role model level, on a Buddha level. Like, people look up to this voice, people listen to this voice, but I express it. Fifth color, guilt. To make people realize where they need to change, where they need to improve, where they need to be more understanding. Because this gate is a gate that has to be elected as a leader. Meaning, when people see your actions, then they validate your voice. So gate 31, the gate of influence, the gate of verbal leading, it can deal with two different things. It can deal with, I'm not really putting in the actions that back up what I'm saying, so people are not going to listen to me in detriment. Or I do put the action in necessary so that people do listen to me. And so that constant reminder, that if I'm going to speak judgment that Spirit has given me on a thing, on a situation, on a frequency, on whatever's going on around me, if I'm going to speak judgment to help people fix their problems, I have to be doing it myself. And so it's a constant reminder, a constant reminder, a constant reminder, a constant reminder that you got to practice what you preach. And so this gate in and of itself, the fact that I value my influence so much because I'm designed to, this gate conditions my character. It conditions my character. I'm grateful for the influence, a powerful or potent enough influence that people actually want to share what I say. Because for me, I don't know about nobody else, but for me, it means that my character is worthy of being listened to. Goodness gracious. And so it kind of makes me upset when I can't really see like I used to who all is sharing my posts or my videos or whatever, because I like to react at the very least with love and honor to each and every one, and comment wherever I feel led to comment, because it tells me thank you for recognizing the work that I put in to build my character. And it also reminds me that the more influence I gain and the type of people that I influence is a mirror to the fact that I need to grow my character, or it's a mirror to the quality of people, the high quality of people that I am able to influence. It tells me about my quality. And of course, I don't deem my quality off of anything in this life, because I am the fruit of the Creator, and no matter what is happening in this life, none of this stuff is none of this stuff eternally matters necessarily. We're just living these lives and gaining experience and wisdom and all of that. But we are at our core portions of the divine. And so I don't question my quality when it comes to that. I don't question my quality in general, but to look at my surroundings, the people I am influencing, and be able to say that I have built in this lifetime, and even in past lifetimes, I have built this character, this quality of character up until now. And it makes me grateful for my work. It makes me grateful for what I'm doing. It makes me grateful for the intel or wisdom that I am bringing back to the Creator when I pass or transition to the ancestral realm. This personality. The environment is always speaking. Always speaking. So yeah, it's a blessing to be in the trenches again. To allow it to bring me to life, to resurrect. Oh my goodness. Resurrect the dead. I promise you, Utah. I went there to die. I went there to kill the parts of me that were no longer needed. Ugh, what a realization. Only to come back here and be reborn. And as difficult as it has been, I am grateful. I appreciate you, Grandpa Larry. You were not my grandfather by blood, but the fact that you came to me, heard me, and came to me to remind me of your discipline, to remind me of, oh my goodness, a 5'1" drill sergeant, little short man, but a 5'1" profile. So he's a fifth line, and I believe he was a fifth color and a fifth tone. Oh man. Wow. He awakened it in me. He really, really did. And it happened here. About, I say, a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. Wow, 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 wow. Well, I hope I have not wasted your time. I know I didn't waste mine. So, I know this will touch somebody, which is ultimately satisfying to me. But I appreciate you all. I appreciate myself. I appreciate all of the supporting forces that are helping me to accomplish my destiny, my ancestors. My, as they would call it, spiritual society or fraternity. Or as, well, yeah, we won't go into all that. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the earth. Grateful for the earth carrying these frequencies to align us, to align me to my destiny. Grateful for my parents. Grateful for my brothers. Grateful for my friends. Grateful for my friends. The few that I do have. Grateful for my children. Grateful for my children. What a blessing. Wholeness and balance, bliss to the caravan, and I will talk to you all soon. Zika.